Hello everybody, welcome back to the lovely outdoors. I had a comment on one of my videos recently which has inspired this video, and I don't think the comment was meant in any sort of a bad way at all. But it got me thinking about a deeper subject, because the comment was essentially suggesting, and maybe the people or the person who left it is watching, that my videos in a lot of cases simply outline subjects rather than actually providing solutions. Now, the first thing that I'd say in response to that, in no sort of a rude way, is simply this. Whilst I do sometimes make advice videos, and I will say that, a lot of the stuff that I've been making, especially in the last 3 months or so, has been just opinion related. I am going to go back to making some more advice related videos in the near future, but at the minute I'm just sharing my thoughts and opinions, and really that's what this channel is, right? This is just where I share my thoughts about stuff. So yeah, I don't always give advice. But then that got me thinking about another thing, right? Because as I've said to you guys many times before, I'm 21 years old, I run my own business, and so many other things about my life. You guys basically know everything, or all of the basics that there is. I've not told you everything, for obvious reasons. I'm holding a little pine cone as well that I found in the forest. It's just kind of nice to touch. Anyway, so of course you don't know everything, but you do know all of the basics, and enough to make an opinion as to who I am. Even with that being said, though, it got me thinking, though, about a deeper subject, and that is how life can be controlled, and how life is really all yours for the taking. You see, the fundamental of my point here is I'm 21 years old, and the biggest thing that I've learned in my last 5 years is that you don't know everything. It's actually kind of silly, and I feel kind of silly for it, but I'm not going to delete it because I think it's important for my personal archive. And that's kind of why I started this channel. But I look back at some of my older videos from, I don't even know, maybe 2-3 years ago now, possibly. And I think my opinion as to what I was saying right then is now completely different to the view that I would have on that subject now. Perhaps due to experience, perhaps due to other circumstances, but I have a very different opinion on so many things to what I had even 2 years ago. This is important context for my subject because of one main reason. Because of the fact that life is subjective, right? Life is subjective, your opinions will change, and as a young person, the biggest thing that I've realized in the last 2 years is that you don't know everything. It's kind of funny, guys, but give me, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, I'm not even going to lie. I'm just going to say it as it is. At that age, I thought I knew basically everything. Not everything, I knew I didn't know everything, but I thought I knew a lot more than what I think I know now, which is quite a funny thing, because realistically now, I'm going to know vast amounts more than what I did even 2 years ago. But now I feel like I know less than what I knew then. And I feel like it's that age-old saying, maybe I'm going to misquote it, but the fact that you don't know what you know until you know, something like that, right? Something like that. Just like all of you guys though, I am on my own path of personal development, self-discovery, and essentially lifestyle optimization. Now, I know that those are all cringe terms that everybody uses these days to describe the way they want to live, but hear me out on my point. Because my point is actually quite plain and simple. What's going to work for me will not work for you. And whenever I've launched advice, products, or videos, I try and make them either as subjective or objective as possible. One of the two. So for example, I can give you guys a subjective course on how to sell products on eBay, because that is a very subjective thing. Or is it an objective? Basically, I can give you a clear-cut answer as to how it works. When I talk about happiness in life, I can say do what works for you. That's a very objective view, right? Because then you can go and figure out what works for you yourself. Life is really all yours for the taking. And that brought me, in a very long-winded intro, round to my main topic. Because the thing is, whether it's my videos, other people's videos, or influencers, people look to everybody else for life inspiration, right? And that will never work. In the least brutal way, guys, the reason why I don't give life advice on a broad scale is because it's not my job to fix your lives, just like it's not your job to fix my life, right? And I think that's a deeper level of self-understanding and self-awareness. And the reason why I got thinking about this is because most people don't really realize this, do they? But there is a lot of power in understanding this because, again, life is all yours for the taking. The reason why I will never give you advice or solutions to the topic that I discuss, or a lot of the topics I discuss, sometimes I do, but very rarely will I do it. The answer is because I'm giving you the food for thought. What you do with that is your choice. And this is all I want to do with this channel. That's really my main ambition. Yes, I am going to try and sell some more products. I'm going to hold my hands up about that with my pine cone in them, right? I'm going to try and make some more courses to sell you guys. I'm going to try and make some more, I don't know, some more ideas, some more products that I can sell. For the simple reason, guys, we all need money at the end of the day. And if I can provide you fair value for the price that you pay, I think that is a fairly good deal. In those solutions, I will directly try and give you advice. But in my main videos, the majority of my main videos, my ambition isn't to give you guys advice. It's mainly to get you thinking about subjects. So if I talk about the high cost of living and then starting an online side hustle, of course you can buy my eBay course if you want to. Link to the Patreon is still in my bio. You can join that and it's going to tell you everything you need to know about eBay selling. But at the end of the day, my main ambition is not necessarily to make you a part-time entrepreneur. If you join my course it is, but bar that, it's not. If I talk about unhealthy food, my main ambition is not to create a diet plan for you. Right, maybe one day I'll launch something like that, who knows? But at the minute, that's not my main plan. I'm just here to get you thinking about that. And if I can open your mind up to some new things, be it online business, be it self-actualization, be it health, be it relationships, anything else, then my job is complete. Now this is where I provide the main point that I'm trying to say here, because life really is a very easy game to figure out when you understand what it is that you want. I'm not saying it's going to be easy to do, but it's easy to have that degree of mental clarity. And that's the thing about finding or looking for solutions from other people. Because what I'm going to tell you guys to do is not going to be what you're going to want to do necessarily. What I'm going to do is not something that you may agree with. The lifestyle that I live may not be something that you want to live. What this means is that in broad terms, I cannot directly give most of you advice. And you shouldn't look to me for advice either. Some of you guys will be younger than me, and on some topics, like I say, I will give you direct advice. But life is all yours for the taking, but you've got to understand what that directly means for you. You can have anything that you want. You can go anywhere that you want, do anything that you want, build a business, have a relationship, anything else that you want to do. However, this is going to require a degree of introspection, self-analysis, and maybe one day I'll launch a course on that, how to discover, or how at least I discovered my degree of introspection, right? Because a lot of people ask, how do I figure out these topics, or maybe I'll launch a course on that one day. But once you've unlocked that, then it's your choice to figure out what you do with that information. I can tell you that there's going to be a big recession. I can tell you that there's going to be a massive period of economic growth. Now, what you do with that is really up to you. I can tell you that it's easier now than ever to build an online business, but I can't force you to do it. If you then follow through to a product or a course that I've created where I do give you direct advice, I can help you there. But besides that, life is all yours for the taking, guys. If you watch my videos, what I want you to take from it more broadly, again, sometimes there will be a product or a service, but the broad thing that I want you to take from my videos is an open-minded opinion. And that's all I want to do. I want to open young people, maybe even old people's opinions and minds to things that they may not have otherwise understood, topics that they may not find spoken about in the real world, and all this sort of stuff. So if I've opened your mind to that sort of stuff and got you thinking about it, that's great, my job is complete. Then what you do with that is completely your choice. Lots of love, guys. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give us a like and subscribe, and I do hope I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.